All right, everybody. Welcome to the next NBC Strat-O-Matic Game of the Week 1982. We are at Saturday, August the 14th. And we're back at Fenway Park just like we were on August the 7th. Saw the Red Sox and White Sox. Well, we're back at Fenway Park and there's a reason for it because of the way the standings are. So let's look at the standings first in the American League and you'll see why we're at Fenway. These are the standings as of coming into this game. Surprisingly, the New York Yankees are leading the division by a game and a half over Boston, 3 games over Baltimore, 3 over Milwaukee. So you got a 4-team race right there. So of course, Baltimore and Boston jockeying for position. In the Western Division, it's another 3-team race with the Angels, White Sox, and Royals battling it out. So upcoming games will have the White Sox in there as well. So let's look at the National League. So that's why we're back at Fenway, because this is the only matchup of the day against 2 playoff contenders. So that's why we're at Fenway. I'm not trying to, overshow the Red Sox or anything. It's just the way it worked out. Here's the National League. And we have Montreal leading the East by a game and a half over the surprising Cubs. Pittsburgh 2 games back, St. Louis 7 back. So St. Louis still has time to make a run, so we'll call it a 4-team race. The Western Division is over. Los Angeles leads San Diego by 13.5 and Atlanta by 16.5. They're 13 games, actually they're 12 games above where they were in real life. And Atlanta is 2 games less than what they were in real life. So it's a done deal. So we're not going to see any more games from the National League West. Next week's game will be the Padres against the Cubs. I'm showing that because the Cubs are in contention. And none of the contenders are playing each other. They're playing teams that aren't in contention. But since San Diego's in second place, I figure that's 2 second-place teams will be a good matchup to go with. So that's what's going to happen the next 2 weeks. We'll be at Fenway, and then we'll be at Wrigley Field for the Padres and Cubs on the 21st of August. But right now, we are at Fenway for the 14th of August. And let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. First, the starting pitchers. For the Red Sox, right-hander Dennis Eckersley. And for the Orioles, right-hander Jim Palmer. Eckersley 13-13, 3.73 ERA. Palmer 15-5, 3.13 ERA. So those are the starters for both teams. Look at the lineups as presented by both Earl Weaver and Ralph Houck. For the Orioles, Bumry leads off in center, Glenn Gulliver at third, Singleton DH, Murray at first, Lowenstein in left, Ripken in short, Jim Dwyer in right, Joe Nolan catching, and Rich Dower at second. For the Red Sox, Remy at second, Evans in right, Rice in left, Yaz the DH, Carney Lansford at third, Stapleton at first, Miller in center, Gedman in catching, and Glenn Hoffman the shortstop. Got our dice right here ready to go. And after about the 6th inning, I guess I'll show the bench and bullpens, figuring that's about the time they would probably be called upon. So sit back and relax and get ready for the NBC Game of the Week from Fenway Park. And Al Bumry will lead things off here against Dennis Eckersley as Eckersley finishes up those warm-up tosses. And he'll be facing Al Bumry. As I'm looking through my phone, the card's coming in crystal clear, so I try to lower the camera down a little bit lower so you can see the cards a little bit better. Somebody had said they couldn't see the results on the cards very well because I was up too high, so I'm going to try to lower it. It's going to cut away some of the score sheet and things, but I think I can fit most everything in this particular fashion. So we'll try it and see how it does. You can let me know if it's something that needs some more adjustments, but as of right now, we'll go with it. Dennis Eckersley facing Al Bumry. And this game of the week is underway on August 14th. 5-4, Eckersley against the against the left-hander rather. 5-4 is a ground ball, third base X. We're going right to third baseman Carney Lansford. He is a 3E14. 3 and a 9, that is a 9. 6 is with the dot, 9 is without the dot. So it is a 3 and a 9. Check the charts for 3 and a 9. And that's a G3, which is good enough. That is a 14. He is an E14. 14. So a 14 and a 14. And unfortunately for Mr. Lansford, a 14 and 14 for a third baseman is right there as a one base error. So right off the bat, Carney Lansford boots it. And the speedy Al Bumry, or at least he used to be speedy, is on the base paths. Start things off. Baltimore won this game in real life 5-2. Bumry, though, let's see. Eckersley is a +3 hold, so that'll help him get started. Gavin's a +1. That's a +4, so he's gonna try to get the jump. The Orioles will try to run all day against this combination. The +4 being held as a -2, so you get a +2 on whatever you have there. So if he gets a jump, it'd be a 1-17. Needs a 6 through 7. And he just misses it, so he cannot get the jump. He will be held, but he cannot get the jump. And that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Glenn Gulliver, third baseman. Eckersley, 6'10" against a left-hander. That's a fly ball center field X, so with another fielding chance, and this time it is the center fielder, Rick Miller. He's a 2E7. 2 and a 15 is good all day long. E7 and a 7. E7 and the 7, there is no 7 there, so it's a good play. Fly to center. Rick Miller is there, one away. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Ken Singleton. Switch hitter from the left side, nothing on the Havoc. Eckersley to Singleton, 6'3", switch hitter batting left, 6'3", is a fly ball left field X. So third consecutive X chance has come up. This one's Jim Rice, he's a 3E10. Decent range, but high error rating, and that 15 could be trouble. He is a 3, and that's a 9. So a 3 and a 9 is good. It's an F2. But he is a E10, and that is a 15. E10 and a 15 on an E10 is a 2-base error on Jim Rice. So how about that? E5 and now an E7. This one a 2-base error, and without the benefit of giving up a hit, Eckersley finds himself in trouble. Runs at second and third, only 1 out. Should be out of the inning. The inning should be over right now. Here's Eddie Murray. Do you play the infield in at Fenway? That's the question. Oh, you know something I forgot to do? I thought I I can't speak. Thought I had written it down, the ballpark effects. I did not. So pause the video and I will get the ballpark effects. Okay, might as well roll them on camera. Ballpark effects using the weather. We're going to roll a D20 and see what the weather's like. It's a day game in August. So we are right here, day game in August in Boston, right here. 1 to 11 on the D20 is good weather. 12 to 17 is average. 18 to 20 is bad. So we have a bad weather day. It's a 19. So it's still going to be 1 to 17 for singles, but home runs get dropped a little bit. So singles are 1 to 17. Home runs a little bit different. Lefties are only a 1 to 2, and righties are a 1 to 8. And I believe on normal weather it's 1 to 10. So not too good of weather here at Fenway, so that will cut down on the ballpark effects just a little bit. That might cut down on the runs a little bit, so that's going to make Ralph Houck decide to play the infield in with 1 out, because thinking there may not be a lot of runs scored in this game. Here's Eddie Murray. Roll for the Havoc for Eckersley. Nothing happening. Infield is in, so you got to be cognizant of these ground ball pluses that'll get through for base hits. Eckersley 1-7 to Murray. Fly ball center field B ? Possible sacrifice fly. Bumry runs at a 15, which is very, very good. And just to refresh my memory as well as other people's on the super advanced fly ball B ? situation, we will go back to the rule book. When in doubt, go to the rule book. And I play so many games. The reason why I'm doing that is I play so many games that sometimes some of the rules from different games start bleeding together, and you want to make sure you get it right. So on a B ? I believe this is where you add 2 to the runner, and if it's higher than that, he's out. But I will double check it just to make sure. Looks like in the rule book, I'm not even seeing it in the rule book. I see the advanced, but I'm not seeing the super advanced. So let's see here. Oh, here we go. Super advanced with the B question mark. Run third base, at least one more runner on base arena occurs if the offense decides to send the runner, the defense has the option to cut and throw, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically we're still using the advanced to calculate. So it's right field, it's the outfielder's arm +2 to the run rating. So Montgomery's a 15, center fielder is a 0, so that keeps it a 15. So 1 to 15 he can score, 16 through 20 he's going to be out. He makes it. Sacrifice fly for Eddie Murray. Sacrifice fly to center field. And the Orioles break through on the scoreboard. Unearned run off of Eckersley thanks to 2 errors. Orioles lead at 1-0. Singleton still at second. He did not try to go to third on that. He's not a good runner. You're not going to take chances like that. So here comes John. Let it be Lowenstein. Nothing on the Havoc. Eckersley to Lowenstein, 5-5. That's a pop out to second, and that's going to end the inning. So the Orioles get a run. It was not earned, but they'll take it. 1 run on no hits and 2 errors. At the end of half an inning, it is Baltimore 0. I'm sorry, Baltimore 1 and Boston coming to bat. And Earl Weaver is tickled pink. Here's Jim Palmer. He will lead things off facing Jerry Remy, who I understand is battling some cancer, so hopefully he is fighting that, giving the good fight, and will recover soon. Good thoughts go out to Jerry Remy and the Red Sox Nation. All right, here's Remy to Palmer to Remy. 1-8, and that's a solid single to left field. Base hit Jerry Remy to lead things off. See if he can get a jump. Palmer's a -1. Nolan's a +2, makes it a +1. Being held is a -2, makes it a net -1, so it'll be a 1 to 14 if he gets the jump. So they're going to try it. 2 through 6, he gets the jump. He does not get a jump, so he has to hold there. That'll bring up Dewey Evans. Palmer to Evans, 2-6. Ground ball, second base C. That'll get the runner over. That C means the runner advances as opposed to an A or B. C is the runner advance, so Remy will take second on the ground ball. Dower's only play was to Murray, 1 down, and that'll bring up Jim Rice. Palmer with the Havoc, nothing happening. Pitch to Rice, 4-7 against Palmer. 1 to 12 is a single, that's a 9, so it is a base hit, only 1 star. So Remy will have to stop at third base. But Rice is aboard with a single, he will not be held at first base. 1 out, 2 on. Yastrzemski up, possible double play, could get him out of the inning though. And Yaz does have some double plays on his card. Palmer to Yastrzemski. 1-4, and he's going to foul out to Joe Nolan. All these hits in column 1, and he found a foul out. So Yaz couldn't get it done, so now it's up to Carney Lansford trying to make up for the error he made in the top of the first to allow that run to score. Palmer, 110 to Lansford is a base hit. He's going to do it. 14 is going to be a double 2 stars. So Rice will have to stop at third base, but the Red Sox do tie the game at a run apiece on the double by Carney Lansford. 2-out double for Lansford puts runners at second and third with 2 down. And Dave Stapleton, the batter. Now Palmer's trying to sweat it out. Strategy roll, nothing happening. 6-9 against Palmer. Ground ball shortstop X. Nobody's being held, so there's no reduction of the range on the shortstop Ripken. He is a 3 E23. 3 and a 10, he will get to that. 3 and a 10 ends up being a G2, which is good enough. And that's an 11, and he is an E23. E23, there is no 11, so it's good play for Ripken to end the inning and keep the Red Sox at a run. So the score is tied. Red Sox do it. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors and 2 left. At the end of 1, we are tied at 1 here at Fenway on the NBC Game of the Week, August 19th edition. I'm sorry, August 14th edition. August 14th edition. Let's not get the wrong dates here. August 14, 1982, and of course posting August 14, 2021. All right, Dennis Eckersley facing Cal Ripken, who just made that nice defensive play. 2-7 for Ripken, and he's going to hit a solid single to get it started. First hit of the game for the Orioles. Ripken will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. That'll bring up Jim Dwyer, or as Chris Berman called him, Jim Washer and Dwyer. Eckersley 2-7 to Dwyer. Ground ball shortstop B plus, but the infield's not in. He was being held, but the plus only is for the infield in. It is not for being held in the super advanced. Super advanced, you have to have a X check for that to happen. So no problem there. That is going to be a fielder's choice, rated 6-4 on the fielder's choice. Dwyer is out, and Dwyer will not be held as a D stealer. He will not be held. He doesn't run very well, so they don't want to take a chance on open up the infield. Here's Joe Nolan. 3-10 for Nolan. That's a solid single to center. Now will Dwyer try to advance? Miller's a zero arm. Dwyer, I think, is going to just stop at second base. So runners at first and second with one out for the number 9 hitter, Rich Dower. And we're getting, despite the ballpark effects being a bad weather day, it hasn't hampered the offense at all. They're hitting the ball around pretty good against 2 Hall of Fame pitchers. Eckersley to Dower, 4-8. That's a fly ball to right field, out number 2. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Al Bumry. Bumry steps up. Reached on an error and scored his first time. Eckersley to Bumry, 4-6, and he flies to center to end the inning. So no Red Sox errors means no Oriole runs. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. Bottom of the second, still 1-1. O's and Red Sox. Rick Miller leads off the bottom of the second for the Red Sox, or I think they're called the Carmines or something like that. Not sure where that name came from, but I could probably Google it and find out. You can seem to Google anything these days and find out, because everything on the computer everything on the internet is true, right? 3-8. 3-8 Miller, ground ball to short. Ripken is there, 1 away. That's going to bring up the catcher, Rich Gedman. 6-9, and that is a ground ball shortstop X, so Ripken gets another chance. He's a 3E23. 3 and an 8 should be okay. 3 and an 8 is a G3. There's a pound sign there, but there's nobody on base. He's not responsible for holding anybody on, so it won't be a base hit. It's a ground ball to Ripken. That's a 7, and he's an E23. And there is no 7, so it's a good play for Cal Ripken. He's made 3 ground outs in a row. The last 3 outs have all gone to Ripken. Here's Glenn Hoffman. Ralph Houck saying, hit it somewhere else. Why don't you? Palmer to Hoffman, 2-4. That's a 1-3 single. Anything else he lines out to Dower, that's a 7, so Dower will snag it. And the inning's over. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox in the bottom of the second. We go to the third. Still 1-1. And let's see, do I need to add a little, it's sunshiny outside, but it's kind of shadowy in here. Don't know if I need to add a light on this. It looks like it's still coming through pretty bright on the phone, so I'm not going to bring a light into this because that might just mess everything up. All right, here is Glenn Gulliver. 1-8 for Gulliver, ground ball to second. Remy is there, 1 away. Brings up Singleton. Reached on that 2-base error by Rice, his first chance. 2-2. 2-2 against a righty is a ballpark home run chance. He is batting left-handed as a switch hitter, so it's only a 1-2. That's a 20, so it's just a deep fly to right that Evans will put away. 2 down, so gave it a loud scare, but just a loud out. And here's Eddie Murray. Sacrifice fly, his first chance. 2-10 for Murray. That's another ballpark home run chance. Again, only a 1-2. That's an 18. So another. This one went to, we're going to assume goes to center field because it doesn't say on here. It just says home run, but it is a ballpark home run. And the rule books say when there's no specification, it goes to center field. Not that it matters in this case, but just following that pattern. When in doubt, it goes to center field. So the inning's over. 1, 2, 3 go the O's. They come away with O in the third. And we go to the bottom of the third. And it'll be top of the order, Jerry Remy against Palmer. Remy singled and scored his first time up. 1-3. This time he flies out to Jim Dwyer in right field. One away for Dewey Evans. 3-5 for Evans. He's going to draw a walk. And I believe that's the first walk issued in the game for either pitcher. Evans will not be held. He will not be held. He's not going to go anywhere either. Rice is your batter. Palmer, 2-6 to Rice. That's a 1-3 triple. Anything else is a single. That's a 17. Single 2 stars. So Dewey Evans motors over to third base. Runners on the corners with only one out, and Yaz the batter. Infield playing for the double play because Yaz is a double play candidate. And Rice will not be held at first. 6-8. 6-8 is a pop out to Cal Ripken. Infield fly rule in effect. 2 outs. Big out there, and now it's up to Carney Lansford, who did hit the RBI double his first time up, so he's got a chance again to produce for the Red Sox. Nothing on the Havoc. Palmer to Lansford, 1-4, and this time he strikes out. So Palmer gets some revenge, strikes him out to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 3, rather, it is 1-1. And now we go to the top of the 4th. It will be Mr. John Lowenstein. You can see he can't hit left-handed pitching worth a toot. So if you play this game in basic with John Lowenstein in 1982 or 1983, you're kind of cheating yourself because in basic he's not penalized against left-handed pitching the way he should be. That's just my 5-second commentary. All right, we're moving on. Eckersley to Lowenstein. For those that like basic, I'm not knocking. I've played it a few times. It's good every once in a while. It just has its shortcomings in my opinion, but that's just me. But as I say in the video, play the game any way you want to. It's your game. Play it the way you like. And try not to criticize anybody else for playing it the way they like. 6-6. Lowenstein, Eckersley, 6-6 is a fly to left. 1 down. Brings up Mr. Ripken. 6-3, that's a fly ball left field X. Jim Rice will get another chance. He made a 2-base error his first time. What will he do this time? 10 and 11, he will get to it. That is an error rating of 11, and he's an E10. And this time he makes the play. Last time I believe it was a 15, which was an error, and 11 is not an error. So Jim Rice was able to haul that one in. 2 up and 2 down for Jim Dwyer. 4-6 off of Eckersley. He flies to center. Miller puts it away. 3 easy flyouts, and Eckersley is done with the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 1-1. Palmer and Eckersley trying to outduel each other. It'll be Dave Stapleton. Rick Miller and Rich Gedman do up for the Sox. 6-10, right-hander. Ground ball shortstop X. Cal Ripken will get another chance. 3E23. 3-15 is good. E23 and a total there of 14. E23 and a 14. There's a 13, but there's no 14. So Ripken is able to make another tough play, helping out his pitcher. Here's Rick Miller. 5-7. 5-7. Fly ball to center. Dot there, but he's nowhere near tired, so easy play there by the center fielder Bumry. 2 down for Rich Gedman. 1-10 for Gedman. Grounds it right back to Palmer. Easy 1-2-3 inning. We go to the top of the 5th, still 1-1. Pitching duel is broken out here in Fenway. And the ballpark is not going to help the hitters that much, or as much as it used to. At least not for home runs. It will for base hits, but not for home runs. Eckersley now facing Nolan. 5-4. Ground ball third base X. Lansford gets another chance at it. He booted the first chance of the game. This time he gets another one. 3E14. 3 and a 20 is good. E14 and a 14 as a third baseman. And again, he has booted it. E14 and a 14. There it is. He is an E14. Whoops, where'd he go? E14, and that is a 14. So a one base error. That is error number 3 on the Red Sox. How about that? I'm just going to leave that blank because they may have more errors. You never know. They only committed 1 error. Each team committed 1 error in the real game. Red Sox now already 3 errors, and we're only in the top of the 5th. So Nolan's aboard. He will not be held. He's not much of a runner. Eckersley with the havoc. Nothing happening. Here's Rich Dower. Decent hit and run man, but with the runner not being held, his hit and run drops to a C. But he is a good bunter, so we're going to have him bunt. He's an A bunter, so we're going to have him bunt. He becomes a B bunter as the corners have crept in. B bunter and a 5, so we go to our super advanced bunt chart. B bunter and a 5 is a good sacrifice. The white die is a 4, which means it is the first baseman. So in this case, first baseman Dave Stapleton will field it. And he will just tag out Dower coming up the line for the out. But the sacrifice is executed. Nolan now in scoring position at second base with 1 out for Al Bumry. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. 5 means we're checking for a pass ball. And Gedman has a pass ball rating of 6. No pass ball. He was able to block it. So here is Bumry. 1-8 for Bumry. Ground ball to short. And since that's an A there, that means Nolan will hold at second base. 2 down for Glenn Gulliver. See if he can drive in the go-ahead run. 1-7. It's a walk, so he's going to keep the inning going. And he'll turn that job of scoring the runner in to Ken Singleton, designated hitter. 2 on, 2 outs. Top of the 5th, tied at 1. And Eckersley to Singleton. 5-7, switch everybody left, and Singleton will do it. That's an 11, which means that's a 1-12 double. With that 11, it's a double 2 stars. So that will score Nolan from second base and move Gulliver to third. RBI double for Ken Singleton. And the Orioles grab a 2-1 lead here in the top of the 5th. And now the infield is going to come in. Well, they could walk Murray, set up a double play. First base open. They're going to. Ralph Houk's giving the 4 fingers, and he's telling them to intentionally walk Murray. They don't want any part of Murray. They will take their chances with John Lowenstein, see if they can turn a double play. Eckersley, nothing happening there. Lowenstein, bases loaded. 2 out. Well, they don't need a double play. There's already 2 outs. What am I talking about? There's already 2 outs. They don't need a double play. So they walk Murray to pitch to Lowenstein. They figure it's easier to get Lowenstein out than it is Murray. We shall see about that. Eckersley, 5-7. Well, it doesn't matter because they're both lefty hitters. So we found that same role that he had with the Singleton at bat. 5-7 again turns into a double. That's going to score 2 runs. So the Orioles now grab a 4-1 lead over the Sox on the double from John Lowenstein. Murray will take third base. 2-run double for Lowenstein. It's now 4-1. Here's Cal Ripken. Eckersley trying to get out of the inning. 6-5, and he will. He strikes out Ripken to end the inning. But 3 runs come in. They were all unearned because they came in after 2 were outs in that error there. So Eckersley has given up 4 runs, but none of them have been earned. 0 have been earned, but that still counts on the scoreboard. So they got 3 runs. They were none of them were earned on 2 hits. There was 1 big error, and they left 2 on base. Go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 4-1 Orioles, and Eckersley is not going to be buying his infielders and outfielders dinner this weekend. Not after this. Palmer might, though, because Ripken has really helped him out. Might at least buy Ripken a steak dinner. Get one for the rookie. All right, here's Glenn Hoffman. 1-6 Palmer to Hoffman. That's a single to right field. So leadoff single by the number 9 hitter, Glenn Hoffman. He will not be held at first base. Here's Remy. 1 for 2 with a single and a fly to right. Palmer to Remy, 5-8 left-hander. Ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Dower. He's a 2E10. 2 and a 4. That could be interesting. A 2 and a 4. 2 and a 4 is a G3 with a pound sign, but with a lefty batter. He was, and plus they weren't even holding Hoffman anyway, but if they were, the shortstop would be responsible, not the second baseman, so Dower is not penalized by that. It's just a G3, which means the runner will advance. Then Dower's an E10 with a 7. Second baseman E10, there is no 7, so it's just basically a ground ball C is what it amounts to. So Remy grounds to Dower, but Hoffman does take second base. So runner at second with 1 out, still not being held at second. Nothing on the Havoc. Here's Dewey Evans. 2-7 for Evans, struck him out. Palmer gets a big strikeout. 2 down. It's up to Jim Rice. And that's, if you're the Red Sox, he's the guy you want up there. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. But he's certainly capable of tying the game with 1 swing of the bat. Palmer is certainly aware of that. 5-7. But he struck him out. He's not tired, so that strikeout is good. Palmer, big way, strikes out 2 tough hitters, Evans and Rice, to end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 6th. It is 4-1 Orioles. Eckersley back out. It's not his fault. I mean, he hasn't given up any earned runs. It's his fielders that are causing the problem, not Eckersley. Here is Dwyer. 4-2, and that is a fly ball to right. He's not tired yet because he has a fatigue of 7. So the fly to right will hold up. 1 down. Brings up Joe Nolan. 6-8 against a lefty. That's trouble. 1-2 is a triple. How about that? Joe Nolan's going to triple. He did have 1 triple in real life, so I guess it's not totally out of the question, but he triples. And now with 1 out, the infield's going to have to come in for Rich Dowers at bat. They just cannot afford to give up more runs. So the infield is in against Dower. 6-7. Ground ball second base X. That is going to be Remy. He's a 3E14. 3E14, and I'm thinking if the infield is in, that should lower his range. You would think. Haven't had that come up very often, but I do want to get it right if I can. All right, let's see here. Infield in. It just says convert any pluses to singles. Doesn't say anything about reducing the range, though, that I can see on here. Not that I can see. Maybe I'm missing it, but I just don't see it. So we're going to keep his range the way it should be. So Remy is a 3E14 with the infield in. 3 and a 7. 3 and a 7, though, is, and this is where it does get him, it's a G3 with a pound sign, and with the infield in, that turns into a single. That's where the infield in will get him. 4, there's no error to worry about, as he is an E14, there is no 4. But it will be a single because of the drawn in infield. So he didn't lose anything on the range, but that pound sign on the Super Advanced X chart definitely factored into that. So base hit for Rich Dower through the drawn in infield, but you had to bring the infield in. There was really no choice in that. It's 5-1. Bullpen now going for the Red Sox, as they do have lefty Tom Bergmeyer loosening in the pen. Dower will not be held on. Here's Bumry. 1-9 for Bumry. Struck him out. That's out number 2. Takes us to Glenn Gulliver. 5-1 Orioles, but in Fenway Park, the game is literally never over. 3-7 for Gulliver. That's a walk. That'll keep the inning going. Putting runners at first and second for Ken Singleton. So Eckersley's got to really bear down here and try try to get out of this against Singleton. 4-10, switch hitter batting left. That's a ballpark single check. 1-17, that's a base hit, but it's only 1 star, so it's going to load the bases. As the inning continues, and now the very tough Eddie Murray is up, and Eckersley in deep trouble. What do you do here with Murray and Eckersley? Murray actually is better against lefties, so they're going to keep Eckersley in the game. See if they can get that last out. 1-8, and he walks in the run. He walks in Eddie Murray. That'll force in a run, and now Eckersley is tired. That's his 6th run allowed. So he is going to have to come out of the game. Eckersley will be coming out, and Bergmeyer will be coming on to face Lowenstein, but he won't be facing Lowenstein because Lowenstein can't hit left-handed pitching. So they will bring in another player to play left field. Will Earl Weaver. They get a pinch hitter in the game. Pinch hitter will be Gary Renicky, who will also stay in the game to play left field. He's also a better defender, so improves their defense as well. So Renicky will be on to pinch hit for Lowenstein and stay in the game to play left field, where he is a 2, a -1, and an E5, and he runs at a 12. So he's on, and Eckersley is exiting, and Bergmeyer is on. Bergmeyer 7-0, 2.29 ERA and 2 saves for the Red Sox in 1982. Still bases loaded, 2 down. Nothing on the havoc roll. Here is Bergmeyer to Renicky. 2-6 for Renicky against the lefty is a strikeout. Good thing 2-7 would have been a bases loaded walk. 2-6 is a strikeout, so Bergmeyer does his job, but it might be too little too late. 2 runs come in for the Orioles. They now lead at 6-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they left them loaded. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and it will be Palmer out to face Yastrzemski, Lansford, and Stapleton. Red Sox running out of outs. They need to get it done. If they're going to get it done, they need to get it done right away and not wait till the last minute. Palmer to Yastrzemski. 1-9 for Yaz. He's got a single to right field to start off the bottom of the 6th. He, of course, will not be held at first base. Carney Lansford steps up. 2-4. Ground ball pitcher A. That's a 1-4-3 double play, rather. And just like that, that rally has been diffused. Carney Lansford. You weren't going to hit and run with him. He was a C hit and run, and they weren't holding Yastrzemski. It would have been a D hit and run. So he really just hit into bad luck, basically, is all that was. Palmer 1-10 to Stapleton. That's a fly to right to end the inning. So it looked promising in the beginning, but Palmer quickly squelched that. We go to the 7th, 6-1, favor of the Orioles. Bergmeyer is out to face Ripken, Dwyer, and Nolan, but Dwyer will not hit because he can't hit lefties either. Earl Weaver was big on platooning, so Disco Dan Ford will take over in right field, pinch hit for Dwyer, and take over in right field as well. Not quite as good defensively. He's a 4 E11, but obviously he can hit left-handers a lot better than Dwyer could. So it'll be Ripken, Ford, and Nolan. Only one lefty out of that. Ripken leads off the top of the 7th. And I might as well, said I was going to do it earlier and forgot to do it, so let's go and do it now before it gets any later. Red Sox bullpen. Well, you see they have the one lefty, Bergmeyer. They also have 3 right-handers, Aponte, Stanley, and Clear. That's who's available in the bullpen. Pinch hitters for the Red Sox. They have 1 lefty, Wade Boggs, 1 switch hitter, Julio Valdez, 3 right-handers, Tony Perez, Reed Nichols, and backup catcher Gary Allenson. That's who's on the bench and bullpen for the Orioles. I'm sorry, for the Red Sox. For the Orioles, 1 left-hander, Tippy Martinez, 3 right-handers, Mike Boddicker, Sammy Stewart, and Tim Stoddard. On the bench for the Orioles, you already have seen 2 of them, Renicky and Ford. They also have Ayala. They also have Len Sakata, Floyd Rayford, and Rick Dempsey, all right-handers on the bench. And they also have 1 lefty, Terry Crowley. So they still have 1 lefty on the bench. Everybody else is right-handed. Okay, maybe a day late and dollar short on doing that one, but meant to do it earlier and forgot. All right, so here is Cal Ripken to lead off against Bergmeyer. 5-7, and that's a ground ball to short, 1 away. He's not tired. That was only his 2nd batter face, so he's not tired. And he hasn't given up anything. So here's Disco Dan pinch hitting for Jim Dwyer. 6-8, ground ball to first. And Stapleton right there for out number 2. For Joe Nolan, he can't hit lefties either, but you don't want to break up the rhythm of the pitcher and the catcher working together, their chemistry. So we're going to keep Nolan in there, especially since they're up 6-1. So Bergmeyer 4-7. 1-2 is a single, but that's a ground ball to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time at Fenway, and I will stretch myself so I can stand up and physically get a little stretch in because I probably need it. Also check the camera or the phone to make sure everything is still copacetic, and it looks like it still is. All right, well, that's the end of that stretch. Didn't stretch for long, just stood up and sat back down. All right, Jim Palmer, this is his point of weakness inning beginning. Say that 3 times fast. Here's Rick Miller. 5-6 against Palmer is a fly to right. 1 away. Here's Rich Gedman. 6-8, and that is a pop out to Ripken at short, 2 down. So Palmer seems to be on cruise control right about now. Here is Hoffman. 2-6 for Hoffman. He pops out to Ripken. So easy 1-2-3 inning for the Sox. We go to the top of the 8th. And let's see, we're going to get a new pitcher for Boston. Bergmeyer is done. He went an inning and a third and didn't give up anything, striking out 1. And now we're going to go to right-hander Mark Clear. Mark Clear, 14-9, ERA of even 3 with 14 saves. He split the closing duties with Bob Stanley. Last week I used Bob Stanley, so this week I'll use Mark Clear. So Mark Clear it is. He will come on, and he's certainly capable of multiple innings. So they're going to have him pitch the 8th and 9th unless he starts to get blown away. Rich Dower will lead things off against Mark Clear. 4-6, and that's a strikeout. Start the top of the 8th. Here's Al Bumbry. 2-3, and that's a single for Al Bumbry. 1 out single, but he will be held, but he's not going to go anywhere up 6-1. They're just going to be happy with that lead. Clear, nothing on the Havoc. Here's Gulliver. 2-5 for Gulliver. That's a walk. All of a sudden, 2 are on with only 1 out. And the big boys starting to come up. Singleton and Murray are due up. Clear. Trying to get clear this inning. 5-10, switch hitter batting left. 5-10 is a ground ball third base X. That's Lansford. He's a 3-E-14. And he's already made 2 errors. That's a 3 and a 1, so that's going to get by for a base hit. That's a 10. I don't believe there's any error to worry about there, but it is going to get through for a base hit. A 3 and a 1 is a single 2 stars. So that will score Al Bumbry as Singleton scooted down the left field or past the third baseline over the bag and past the diving Lansford. And Gulliver will get to third base by the time that Rice secures it from the corner by the Green Monster. Runners are at the corners with 1 out. And Eddie Murray the batter. Singleton not being held. Clear to Murray. 4-8, switch hitter batting left. That is a strikeout. He's not tired, so the strikeout stands. 2 down for Gary Renicky. His second at bat, first one against a right-handed pitcher. 2-8, and he walks, and that will load the bases. So the bases are now loaded for Cal Ripken. And clear and deep doo-doo has to get Ripken out. 3-10, and he does. It's a fly to center that ends the inning. Orioles do get a run. They do it on 2 hits. No errors, and they leave them loaded again. Score is now 7-1. It could be worse. The Orioles have left a lot of guys on base. But as it is, it's 7-1. That's probably going to be all for Clear. I think they're going to go to Aponte to pitch the 9th because Clear ran into some issues there, had to face 7 batters, so they're going to go ahead and give him the rest of the game off. Palmer going along smoothly. No sense taking him out. He's good to go. Here's Remy. 3-8 for Remy, and that's a base hit. Single, leadoff single for Remy. He's now 2 for 4. And it's 7-1. They're not even going to hold him. Nothing on the Havoc. Here is Evans. 6-6 against Palmer. Line out to third. Lines it hard, but right to Gulliver. 1 away, and he'll bring up Jim Rice. Red Sox running out of outs. Palmer, 5-9. That's a fly to center. Put away by Bumry. 2 down. That'll bring up Yaz. Nothing happening. Palmer to Yaz. 3-4. 3-4 is a ground ball to second. Dower makes the play. No problem. Innings over. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 9th. 7-1 Orioles. And the new pitcher for the Red Sox will be Luis Aponte. Aponte on the season. 2-2, 3.18 ERA, and 3 saves. So he is on. As Clear pitches 1 inning, gives up a run. And Aponte will be facing Ford, Nolan, and Dower. Bottom of the order. Orioles have their bullpen working. And we could see Tim Stoddard. Could see Tippy Martinez. I think we're going to see Tim Stoddard, the right-hander, because they got right-handers coming up. So Tim Stoddard will be coming in. That's going to be it for Jim Palmer. He's done at 8 innings. Excellent performance. 8 innings, only 1 run allowed. That was in the first inning. Then he settled down, and it was Katie bar the door. All right, so Aponte now facing Disco Dan. 1-4. That's a 1-10 home run. That's an 18 though, so it will turn into a double instead. So Disco Dan, his first hit of the game since coming in. He's now 1 for 2 with a double. Brings up Joe Nolan. Aponte to Nolan, 6-5. Ground ball to second. And this is where, if you're playing advanced or basic, the runner, since that's an A, he would have to hold at second base, but since it's to the right side, super advanced allows you to move him to third, which is the realistic thing to do. So runner now at third with 1 out for Rich Dower. Do you even bother bringing the infield in? You might as well. I guess you got nothing to lose. Ponte to Dower. 5-10. Ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Hoffman. He's a 2E24. 2 and a 15 should be good. 2 and a 15 is a G1. And that's a 10. E24 and a 10 is also good. G1 with the infield in and a runner at third. It says batter, which says batter out, runner's advance, only a force. Well, he's not forced, so he'll stand. So it's a ground ball to short with the infield in that kept the run from scoring. So I guess that was something to their credit. Keeps it 7-1 with 2 outs now and Al Bumry, the batter. Ponte, 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're checking pass ball on Nolan, who does not have a pass ball rating, so we skip that. straight to Bumry, 110. He's going to fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So I guess at least playing the infield in kept a run away. Keeps it from being 8-1, makes it 7-1, because that makes all the difference in the world, right? All right, so that's going to do it for the Orioles, but they're in comfortable position, leading 7-1. And they'll bring in Tim Stoddard to pitch the ninth. Stoddard, former NC State basketball player, 3-4, 4.02 ERA and 12 saves in 1982. He and Tippy Martinez kind of platooned at being the closer. Carney Lansford, the leadoff man, here in the bottom of the ninth, trying for a miracle Fenway finish down by 6 runs. Stoddard, Stapleton, and Miller. Let's look on the bench. They do have Wade Boggs. I believe Wade Boggs will pick up a bat and hit for Stapleton. So he will at least come in and hit for Stapleton. So Wade Boggs will pinch hit for Stapleton after Lansford hits. But first, it's Carney Lansford. 3-6, and he flies to center field, 1 away. And now Stapleton, who wasn't a bad hitter, 264 average, but he is 0 for 3, whereas Boggs is a 349 average. So definitely an improvement there to use Boggs. He will pinch hit against Stoddard, 2-8, but he does ground to short. Ripken right there. 2 down. One Hall of Famer retires another one. 2 down, and last chance is Rick Miller. 6-10, and that's a fly ball center field X. That could be trouble because Bumry's a 4. 4-E7. 4 and a 7. That probably is going to drop for a hit. 4 and a 7 is a single. So the game will continue. That is a 10. E7 and a 10. There is no error there, but it is a base hit as Bumry was unable to get there. Keeps the game going for Rich Gedman. Miller, of course, not being held. Nothing there. Here is Gedman. 6-9, and that's a 1-16 double. That's an 11, so the double will send him, and he's going to probably score because he wasn't being held, and there are 2 outs, so that makes him a 16. The 2 outs makes it an 18. Bumry's a +2, makes it a 20. So I believe the only way he's going to be out is on a 20. And he's in there. So he will, in fact, they're not even going to be true super advanced, they're not even going to make the throw. They're going to cut the throw and keep Gedman at second base. So actually the Orioles didn't even make a throw there. They conceded that run. RBI double from Gedman cuts the lead to 7-2. And now here's Hoffman, and do they pinch hit for Hoffman? I'm sure they will. He only hit 209 on the season. So they will pinch hit for Hoffman with tough Tony Perez, the veteran. They don't have any lefties on the bench, as the only lefty they had was Boggs. They do have switch hitting Valdez. He only had 20 at bats all year and hit 250. Perez is a better hitter, so they're going to use Tony Perez off the bench, as Ralph Houck likes the veterans. So Tony Perez is in. Stoddard trying to finish this thing off without getting too crazy around here. Stoddard to Perez. 1-9, and he struck him out, and that's the ball game. They finish it up with a big strikeout from Stoddard. And in case you're curious, Julio Valdez on a 1-9 would have also struck out. So really didn't matter at that point. Reed Nichols would have grounded to second. Gary Allenson would have grounded to second. And that's it. That's all they had. So there was no possibility that any of their pinch hitters would have done anything. Glenn Hoffman, the original batter, would have grounded to second as well. So no matter what we did there, the lot was already cast. It was predetermined that was going to be it. And so the Red Sox do get a run in the ninth to make it a little bit less painful, but still 7-2 the final. Big 3 errors for the Red Sox. That's what really did them in, was those errors. Orioles won the game in real life 5-2. They won the game in this replay 7-2. Look at the hits. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 hits. So in real life, the Orioles went 5-11-1. In this game, they go 7-10-0. For the Red Sox, how many hits did the Red Sox get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they go 2, 9, and 3. In real life, they went 2, 6, and 1. Left on base is what I'm curious, because the Orioles left an awful lot of guys on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The Orioles left 12 on base. And the Red Sox, just for kicks and giggles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They left 7 on base. So there's your final from Fenway. Orioles win it 7-2. And as we look at the standings, see what that does in the standings in the American League. That helps the Yankees, because now the Yankees, depending on what they do, they could go up by 2.5 games. The Orioles now are 61-52, so they are only a half game out of second place and the Red Sox. So that's something to keep an eye out for. And again, looking at future games, the next game on the 21st will be San Diego and Chicago. And you're saying, why in the heck, if you came in late, you're saying, why in the heck do you want to play that game? Well, according to the standings, the Cubs are in second place, only a game and a half out from Montreal. Now, what they'll be next week, I have no idea, but they can't fall that far in a week. So we're going to go to the Cubs against the second place pod, 2 second place teams going at it. That'll be the game on the 21st. And then on the 28th, we go back to the Windy City. We stay in the Windy City, but we go across town to the south side of Chicago to Comiskey Park for the Kansas City Royals against the Chicago White Sox. And of course, that has implications all over, as the White Sox and the Royals are right there with California. So that's the next scheduling in the rest of the month of August. Those are the 2 games that will cover the rest of the month of August. But here on August the 14th, from Fenway, it was, we'll move this out of the way, it was the Orioles reigning supreme 7-2. Oops, got them sideways there. 7-2 over the Red Sox, and it was Jim Palmer, the man of the day. 8 innings pitched, only 1 run allowed. So he was the star of the game. Offensively, the Orioles had a couple guys that did something, but they primarily benefited from 3 Red Sox errors. So I'm giving the star of the game to Jim Palmer. 8 innings pitched, only 1 run in Fenway. That's a pretty good outing, I would say, to only allow 1 run in the hitter-friendly Fenway Park. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you're having a good Saturday wherever you are. Hope you enjoyed this game of the week, Strat-O-Matic 1982 style. Next game of the week, again, will be from Wrigley Field in Chicago as the San Diego Padres take on the Chicago Cubs. That'll be on August the 21st. And of course, between now and then, there'll be at least 1, maybe 2 videos from the 2019 Washington Nationals Inside Pitch season replay, as we're into mid to late August in that. And we'll see how they do on their pennant chase in the Inside Pitch. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.